linguistics.
Welcome to the Florida Linguistics Podcast for Monday, December 14th. This is Tyler McPeek, graduate student at the University of Florida. Today we'll be talking to Lee Ballard, second year master's student and fellow grad student at the University of Florida. Good evening, Lee.
Hello.
So, you'll be writing your master's thesis this spring.
That's right.
In the field of phonology, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So in our program, we have three core areas that were tested on the comprehensive exams and that are valued as a theoretical core of our program, which is phonology, morphology, and syntax. Could you tell us something about why you decided to choose phonology?
Well, I came into the linguistics program having majored in music, and I took some linguistics and some foreign languages in college, but I was interested initially in more of the musical side of language and less in the grammar, less in the pragmatics or social type of linguistics. And so phonology was just a natural transition for me, studying what I thought was most interesting and fit my talents and interests just right off the bat.
So maybe we could actually expand on that. So you're a musician by training.
That's right.
Which is interesting. I think you're the only classically trained musician in our program that I'm aware of. You went to Davidson College.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, which is also of interest to me, having gone to St. Andrews College, so pretty close by.
Yeah.
Good old North Carolina. So how did you make that transition from music to linguistics generally?
Well, I always felt it was a very natural transition. I'm surprised that more people don't transition between the two fields, because music is something that happens universally, and so is language in human culture. The difference is that language is supposed to be universal, whereas music, there are very few universals in music. But they're both systems of communication that have complicated structures, that have recursive structures, and that are practiced in every culture, playing instruments, learning languages. There also are theoretical underpinnings of both fields, and I've always felt that they're very kind of contiguous. They should be thought of as parts of the same thing, sort of.
Do you know anyone else who was in music in your undergraduate program that chose anything language related for graduate study?
No, I don't. Davidson produces very few professional musicians, so I know a few people who became professional musicians from the music program, but not very many. Most of my friends chose some other type of work or in graduate school somewhere else.
And you're a classical violinist?
Yeah, that's right. Violin is my main instrument. I've also done some other things here and there.
And playing actually on the UF Orchestra here at University of Florida? Yeah,
they let me play. I auditioned and I made it in. And they're happy to have me. I come, try to be on time. And I augment the people from the School of Music who have to be in it.
Good. So we were in Introduction to Phonology together with Dr. Caroline Wiltshire, who is our central phonologist and the director of the linguistics program here at UF. What part of phonology specifically are you going into, and what is your primary interest within the field of phonology? Sure.
I'm going to be writing my thesis on vowel harmony, so the relationship between roots and affixes and which affixes get attached in what contexts. So it has something to do with allomorphy. It's called harmony, but it's really quite different from the musical sense of harmony, which has to do with dissonance and consonance and things in notes that are either adjacent or not adjacent to do with each other. So that's similar, I guess, to vowel harmony, where you've got non-contiguous vowels, because there usually are consonants between. They have to agree in some feature. But I'm writing on the vowel harmony of Akan, which is a language spoken in Ghana. It's the main language, in addition to English in that country.
So did you choose Akan because of the value or uniqueness of the phonology, or because of an interest in African languages?
It was an interest in African languages. University of Florida really specializes in African studies, African linguistics. There are a lot of professors in the Center for African Studies who are also linguists, including Dr. Segbay, who's on my committee and is the econ teacher. You'd be hard-pressed to find many schools besides University of Florida where you can learn so many African languages. You can learn econ here, you can learn Swahili, you can learn Arabic, but there are also other ones you can learn. You can learn Yoruba, you can learn Lingala, and these are almost never taught anywhere. So University of Florida specializes in it. That's one of the reasons why I came here to study, because I thought I wanted to do something with Africa, and I ended up doing econ. So I chose it because of my interest in Africa.
Some would be surprised to know that, so you are a fluent speaker of German.
That's right. I went to Germany for 2 years.
On a Fulbright
Yeah,
scholarship program.
I went back on a Fulbright, and I originally spent a year there studying abroad. My junior year I spent abroad, and then I decided to go back for a second, and I taught English at a high school on the Fulbright program, yes.
But you decided not to specialize in German.
No, that's basically already been done. People have been doing that for hundreds of years, ever since the Grimm brothers, and I'm just really not that interested in German-style linguistics or doing linguistics on German.
Okay. And, well, Germany certainly is one of the world hubs of linguistic study, along with possibly, I guess we'd have to say, the U.S., certainly Japan, but there's been quite a bit of work done on German, English, and Japanese. So I know that you're interested in Russian also. What would you like to tell us about?
Yeah.
I watched your presentation at the Thursday Linguistics Seminar here. You had quite a bit of optimality theory.
That's right.
Would that be the methodology of choice for that we're looking forward to seeing in your master's thesis?
That's right. I'll be using optimality to analyze the vowel harmony instead of a rule-based approach. Optimality gives you the advantage of seeing universals more clearly between languages that have similar phenomena. It gives you the possibility, maybe someday, to have a universal set of constraints that all languages possess and that simply are ranked differently. Constraint is kind of like an aspiration. So a language might aspire to do one thing or to have it one output at the expense of another, and another language might have the reverse set of priorities. That's the benefit of optimality over just using rules like a computer. So if you want to analyze language as a computer, it's input and output, and the linguistic mechanism is like a machine where you turn a crank and out comes the language. That can be useful, but optimality is kind of a more rounded way of looking at it, a more human way. I don't know really which one is more correct, but probably some of both. I mean, it just depends on what the theory buys you, and if you can explain what's going on in the language using the theory, then the theory's done its job.
Okay, excellent. Well, we'll look forward to reading your master's thesis this spring, and I hope you'll come back and do another podcast segment for us. Absolutely.
Thank you for the interview, and I'll see you later.
Okay, this has been Lee Ballard and Tyler McPeek for FloridaLinguistics.com. Please visit the website for more information on linguistics generally and on our grad student studies here at the University of Florida. Thanks very much.
Florida Linguistics.